Moving tributes have been paid to Tyson Fury's cousin, after his tragic death in a stabbing. The boxing legend shared the tragic news of Rico Burton's death in a shock Instagram post. Rico, 31, was reportedly knifed in the neck outside a bar in Altrincham, Manchester just after 3 a.m., the 21st of August. He had trained with Fury as a young man, before becoming a roofer. In more recent years, he'd been selling cars, friends said. Calling for an end to knife crime, two-time heavyweight world champ Fury said, "My cousin was murdered last night, stabbed in the neck. This is becoming ridiculous. Idiots carry knives. This needs to stop." The 34-year-old called on the government to bring back higher sentencing for knife crime, adding, "It's a pandemic. You don't know how hard it is until it's one of your own. Life is very precious and it can be taken away very quickly. Enjoy every moment. Rest in peace, Rico Burton. May the Lord God grant you a good place in heaven. See you soon." Steve Egan, Rico and Fury's former coach, said he was devastated to hear of the tragedy. The 60-year-old, a coach at Jimmy Egan Boxing Academy in Manchester, said Rico had won 2 national titles fighting as a junior at the gym, and boxed at the gym until he was 19. He left the gym to look for a career in roofing and building work. Steve said, "I taught Rico, he's a lovely lad. I'm devastated. I feel like crying. I've known him and his brother since he was 13. What a talent, he was fantastic. He was always a grafter, he worked hard and he worked so hard in the ring too. He was a fantastic fella. I used to call him our Billy Joe Saunders because he was such a good fighter." He said there wasn't a bad bone in Rico. "I could never see him getting in trouble with anyone, or starting trouble. He wasn't that type of lad," he said. "I'm absolutely devastated. It's a coward's game. If you carry a knife you should get 5 years for just having it in your pocket. It's just daft. His mom is going to be devastated, it's going to finish her off. He was always smiling, he knows his boxing is bang on. He loves his mum and his brother and his cousin." Cops rushed to the scene of the slaying in Goose Green in the early hours of this morning after reports 2 men had been knifed. Rico was taken to hospital but tragically died a short time later. A 17-year-old man remains in hospital with serious injuries. A man, 21, was arrested at the scene on suspicion of assault and remains in custody, with cops launching a murder investigation. Steve said today that Rico had always admired Fury. "Tyson was a hero to him and he wanted to be like him," he said. He was close with Tyson and they would spar together and were best of mates. Family friend Eddie Nevins said, "Funny guy and a decent boxer, one we looked up to as kids." Bar workers who saw the tragedy unfold have been left shocked and shaken, and Michael Edwards, who lives close by, said it's really shocking when something like this happens. "It's terrible, so many people carry knives these days." Rico's death comes amid a wave of knife and gun violence across the UK, much of it focused in London.